Good afternoon, everybody. So just checking that if you haven't got a foam roller, you can roll up a couple of towels to create a long log of towels to lay on to mimic a foam roller. But hopefully you've all got some foam rollers now. If you need one, we still have them in the clinic and we can drop them off to your doorstep if you need them. They're a really nice adjunct to the exercises. Also, today, optional hand weights. If you would like to use them, make sure you've got them handy. And of course, a towel or two if you need to support your head when we are doing some of the mat exercises. So, my name's Dana, for those of you I haven't met, and I'm a physiotherapist here at Bourne Sports and Physiotherapy Centre. And I'll be taking you through your foam roller class today. And we'll be working on spinal mobility in all our planes of motion, and also a lot of shoulder joint and hip joint mobility. And then, of course, our core in the front and also our core in the back. And of course, we always have a bit of glutes in our classes as well. So working the whole body, the main thing is to listen to your body. And if some positions are not comfortable for you or some ranges of motion, just modify them slightly. I will try throughout the class to give you some alternate positions where I think there might be a few issues. If not, just stop and take a deep breath and just relax and come back to us when you're ready to join in with the next exercise. The main thing is listen to your body, where it is at today and what feels good for you. Okay, we are going to start in a standing warm-up position today. So come on up, bring your foam roller with you. Okay, and just starting off nice and tall. And we're going to slowly roll down through each segment of our spine. And as we do, we can start to stretch the arms out a little way and then lengthen our spine into a flat back. And then just slowly scooping in through the tummy muscles to roll yourself back up. Good, let's do 4 more of those. Really try and find segmental mobility in your spine. Feel like you pull your abdominals up and in and keep them scooped up and in. Lengthening right from the tailbone to the head. Tuck the tail, scoop the tummy to roll back up. Good, 3 more, rolling down. Lovely, lift up of those abdominals underneath the rib cage. Lengthen from tailbone to head. Scoop and roll back up. Nice. 1 or 2 more, depending on what speed you are taking this at. Just allow your low back, mid back, upper back to find a little bit of mobility in this warm-up. Last one. And rolling back up. Great. Let's just place your foam roller on the ground. Now this is going to feel a little strange. I'm going to get you to stand with 1 foot on the foam roller and then roll your foot. Roll the roller. And you can go as quick as you like. Just giving the foot lots of proprioception, sending the messages up to the brain. Ugh, it's running away from me. There we go. Hold on if you need to. But about 30 seconds more, and that fast vibration through the leg again is warming up and sending our body lots of information. And you'll understand why in a minute. We're going to do a single leg balance with our foam roller just to really connect our mind and our body at the start of the class to help us focus. All right, other foot, give it a roll and a shake. Hopefully the foot that you've just rolled feels quite tingly and alive and awake. Going for about 30 seconds. Roll, roll, roll. All right, and release. Oh, that feels good on the base of your feet. Okay, oopsie. Sorry about that, everybody. Microphone got a bit excited and rolled right off my hip. Okay, coming to stand off your mat if you can for this one. Taking your foam roller and placing it on the top of one foot, and your hand connects at the other end of the foam roller. Take your opposite arm out to the side. Now find a spot to focus on the floor as you slowly lift that leg off the floor that's got the foam roller and hinge yourself forward into a bit of an aeroplane stretch. And then slowly coming back up. And we are going to do 5 more on this leg. Length right out through the head. Now, if you're near a wall, by all means, you can put a few fingertips on the wall just to keep your balance. It is quite a strong balance challenge. Nothing like a strong balance challenge to make our mind and our body connect at the start of class. Good, 2 more. And last one. And coming up. Very good. Swap your feet and that foam roller to the other side. Okay, when you're ready, focus on a spot on the floor. Slowly extend the leg out behind you as you tip over at the hip joint. Woo. And then come back up. Nice. 4 more. And reaching out through the top of the head, right through to the foot. But you've got that connection with your hand and the foot via the foam roller, which actually gives us a little help in this balance exercise. 1 or 2 more, depending on how you are going. Good. I'm going for 1 more. Very good. Okay, let's come down onto our mat. Let's take the foam roller across our back to release our upper thoracic spine. So just placing that foam roller at the base of your shoulder blades, like you're lounging in a pool float. That's about where that foam roller will be. And then supporting your head with your hands. Make it a really nice hammock for your neck to relax in. And then when you are ready, just pushing through your feet to lift your hips off the floor so that you come virtually horizontal onto your foam roller. And then you can gently push through your feet and roll that upper thoracic spine, which feels so good, just to the base of the neck and to the base of the shoulder blades, that middle back between the blades. Very nice. And we're just going to do this for about a minute. This is such a great exercise to do if you've been sitting over at a computer or sitting in the chair, whatever chair that may be, watching Netflix or something. It just helps you to release that upper back tension and reverse the postural strain. Good, going for 20 more seconds. My foam roller is rolling away from me. I'll be hitting the wall in a minute. Good, last 5 seconds. All right, and just rest your bottom back down onto the floor. I'm just going to readjust slightly into the middle of my mat. Okay, keep supporting your head in your hands. Just check that the elbows are not over wide. Keep them a little bit closed here. And your bottom is on the mat now. We are just going to extend our upper back over the foam roller. So it's just our spine moving now. The foam roller is still, our body is still, but we're gently extending ourselves around and over that roller. And feel free to change the position a little bit. You might want to roll it down just a touch, no lower than your shoulder blades though, but explore your upper back range at a few different levels. Going for 5 more. 3, good, 2, and last one, extend it over, and then just coming back up. That feels so good through that upper back. Hopefully you enjoyed that too. Let's come on to our hands and knees now. And just keep your foam roller handy and close. We're going to just release our back in the opposite direction into our cat and our cow. Just pulling those abdominals up and in, reach the upper back towards the ceiling. Make sure that your neck is nice and relaxed here. And then uncurl the spine so that you're going to stretch to the front of the abdominals, lift your heart up and forwards. And let's go for 5 more, cat and cow. And hopefully your cat and cow feels much looser after having rolled your upper thoracic spine. Keep the breath going. Try not to hold your breath when you hold your position. It's very tempting to hold the breath, but try and keep it flowing. All right, last one. And then come back to your neutral spine, so nice and flat, neither tucked or arched. And then with your foam roller on your side, we're going to go into thread the needle. So you're going to take one arm, the opposite arm to your foam roller, rest it on the foam roller as you reach that arm under and through the little hole that you create by bending your elbow with the hand on the mat. Keeping your pelvis relatively still so that it's just the rotation occurring in the upper spine and the back of that shoulder. Good, going for 1 or 2 more reps before we swap sides. Great. Okay, just bring your roll around to the other side. Taking the opposite arm to the foam roller, resting it down on the foam roller as you reach through your little eye hole of the needle you have created with your bent arm. And going for 5 thoracic rotations. Keeping our thoracic mobility is so important. That's why a lot of the class is dedicated to that. And it's so good with the foam roller. You can get that mobility and the release in the thoracic spine. Quite different with a foam roller to the mat. All right, one last one. Good. Okay, so while we're still facing this way, let's bring the foam roller. We're going to release our front of our thighs into our quads. So you're going to walk yourself onto the foam roller and you are balancing on your elbows, okay? And your tummy is just drawn in a little bit from the mat to keep the back supported. And then through your arms, just gently pull yourself up and down on that foam roller, rolling the quads at the front of the thighs. Hurts so good. If you find some little tender spots, by all means stay there and just do small rolls over that. Often it's right near the top of the kneecap. Don't actually roll over the kneecap, stop just above it, so you're staying in the muscle fibers, not rolling over bone. If you want to, you can slightly angle one knee out to the side and bend it up, and you'll get a little bit more inner thigh on one leg and outer thigh on the other. And make sure you try the other side as well. See how that feels. Compare your left and right. Just remember that little scoop in the abdominals so you're not sagging through your back. Good, going for 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Okay, so I'm just going to change direction again. But we'll get you to come and sit on your bottom with your foam roller out in front of you. Now, if you have quite tight hamstrings and find this position a challenge, have a pillow or a towel to sit on just to help raise you up a little bit. Now you can also bend your knees slightly, because the main thing is trying to get that lovely upright position, like you're sitting right on top of your pelvis, on top of your sit bones. Okay, and then with your foam roller in front, we're going to do another rolling down through our spine, peeling down through each segment. But this time, as we roll the foam roller away, we are getting our hamstrings as well. And then scoop the abdominals in and roll back up. So the top part of our body is doing the same thing, scooping in through the abs, rolling out, and back up, but we're taking our hamstrings into a little bit further range of motion here. Good, let's go for 3 more spine roll forwards, supporting your shape with your abdominals pulled in. Nice, 2 more, rolling down, back up, and last one, rolling down and back up. Very nice. Okay, take that foam roller and place it between your legs so that it's held in place with a little bit of inner thigh squeeze around your ankles. And then sitting up nice and tall again, outstretch the arms, expand your wings, and then I'm going to get you to rotate your upper torso. Again, that thoracic rotation. And then slowly rotate to the other side. Stretch from fingertip to fingertip. Feel like you're really opening up between collarbone to collarbone. Sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to do 3 more in each direction. Good. 2 to go, each side. Last one, reach. Still holding on to that foam roller between your ankles. Good, now come back to the first side that you rotated to, and we're going to put that together. So you've rotated to the side. Now that arm that's in front, I want you to reach it down to the opposite ankle and try and saw off your ankle. This exercise is called saw. Your other hand reaches right back behind you. And then roll it back up and come back through the center. Rotate to the opposite direction. Saw off your opposite leg. That lovely diagonal twist. And then come back up and rotate through to the center. Let's do 3 more each side. Rotate and reach. Again, reaching out from fingertip to fingertip. Good. And rotate. Abdominals are still pulling up and in. Good. And rotate. Hopefully those hamstrings are really letting go now. And reach. 1 more. I'm just doing a very, very small, slight pulse at the end, almost like I'm trying to reach and then reach a little bit further into the range. Very good. Sitting up nice and tall. Well done. Okay, still keeping your foam roller between your ankles. This time, hands in front. And then I want you to scoop in those abdominal muscles, almost like you've caught a ball in your abs. And you're slowly going to roll yourself down to the mat, bone by bone, holding onto that foam roller. I'm going to hit the wall as you get down to the mat. Good, arms are overhead. Now bring the arms back up to the ceiling, nod through the chest, and roll and peel yourself back up if you can through your abdominals. Good, let's try 5 roll downs. Scoop in through the tummy. Rock that pelvis back onto the mat, and then try and place each vertebra down. Arms go overhead for a lovely stretch. And then bring the arms back up to the ceiling. Start with a chin nod and peel yourself back up. Ooh, there goes the lift of the legs. Good. 3 more. So working that abdominal control through our spinal flexion range of motion. Good. And rolling down. Last one. Rolling and curling up. Woo! Very good. Okay, let's take that foam roller and come and lay along it from tail to head. Have your weights close by if you've got them and if you want to use them for the arm work. So just getting yourself organized on the roller, your head's fully supported, your feet are hip distance apart, not too narrow to begin with. And just let your body settle on the foam. Just turn the palms up slightly, open through the front of the shoulders. And just take 2 nice deep breaths here, just to steady yourself on the roller. Do a little body scan to see how the spine is feeling after all that stretching in the warm-up. And then when you are ready, and if you want to grab your weights, now is the time to do it. And we're going to take both arms up to the ceiling. Just find your balance there with the arms up. When you're ready, we're going to open through the front of the chest with our pec stretch, and then back up. And let's go for 10. Nice stretch through the front of the chest, front of the shoulder. The foam roller gives us a lovely bit of overpressure in the upper back. As you do this, just watch that your hand is not going too low so that the shoulder head pops forward. Only take the hand as low as the line of the shoulder. Good, I've got about 6 more. Again, this is a fantastic postural exercise, reversing that forward posture that we always have throughout the day because everything we do is forward flexed. That's because our eyes and our hands orientate us forward so that we can see what we're doing in our environment. But we can often get a tightness occurring in the front of the body as a result. So an excellent reverse postural exercise here. All right, 1 or 2 more. Good. Now, turn your palms so that they face your feet. And we're going to come into a chest press. So we'll bend the elbows down to the side, this time making quite a square shape with our elbows. And we're going to bend and reach. Bend and reach. So at the bottom, it's quite square with our hands sitting right above our elbows at a 90 degree angle. As we come back up, you can bring those hands towards each other so that it becomes a bit of an arc or a rainbow shape. And let's go for 10 more of these. 10, 9, 8. Again, just watch that the elbow height does not go below the shoulder so that we don't pop our shoulder head forward in its socket. Just enjoy this feeling in the mid-back. It's as much about mobilizing that mid-thoracic spine. Good. All right, one or two more. Lovely. Let's turn the palms back to face each other now. And we're going to take the arms overhead into our lat stretch. And then bring them back up to the ceiling. Now, as you stretch the arms back overhead, I want you to still feel like your upper back is in contact with the foam roller. Often we can pop our ribs and flare our upper back off the foam roller when we're taking our arms overhead. So I really want you to feel the length of that spine on the foam. Good, going for 5 more. Now, of course, if you have a shoulder injury at the moment, just take care with your range of motion and just work within the range that is comfortable. All right, 1 or 2 more. And then meet me at the top. And we're going to split the arms now. So reaching one arm overhead, one down to the hip. Then come through the center and swap. And I want you to find that length again from fingertip to fingertip. And feel that upper back stays long on the foam roller. Good. Let's go for 2 more splits on each arm. So 4 in total. And then meet me at the top. Good. We're just going to do a little bit of tricep work here. So I'll get you to hold your arms above your chest and then just bending from the elbow, taking the hands down towards the outside of the ears and then straightening back up. So taking your telephones to your ears, the elbow joints stay in the same space, but the forearm is just bending and lowering. And we're going to go for another 10 here. So these are your push-up muscles. And not only a push-up in the traditional sense or the fitness sense, the classic push-up exercise, but every time you get off the floor, every time you stand up from your chair, these muscles press you up. Good. All right, 1 or 2 more. Last one. And then release the arms back down to the side. And if you've had weights in your hands, just let go of those weights for me. And just turn your palms up again. And just feel the opening through the chest. Is it any different to how it felt when you first laid down on the foam roller? Nice. Okay. All right, let's go into a little bit of core abdominal work here. So let's turn your palms over now so that your fingertips are on the floor. Okay, and I'll get you just to move your feet a tiny bit closer towards each other. That brings in a lot more challenge to the core. And you'll feel that. If you feel really comfortable, bring your feet very narrow. Find whichever works for you though, whichever foot position. All right, just slowly floating one leg up to that tabletop position. And we'll work through several levels of abdominal exercises here. So stay with whatever level feels good for you. Rest whenever you need to. So level 1, we are just alternating our hip float and getting used to shifting our weight on the foam roller. Very, very subtle shift and readjustment of our core. If you're feeling really comfortable with this, I'll invite you to lift the opposite arm off the floor up to the ceiling to your hip float. Good. Let's do 5 more each side. 10 in total, 4 more. So this is level 2. And just feel that your tummy is activating slightly to help you stabilize on the foam roller. So last one on level 2. Joining me for level 3 if you want to. Single arm, single leg. Find the balance and hold. Then float your opposite arm up to the ceiling and just hold it there. For 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Leave your arms up there but lower the leg. Take the opposite leg up into the hip float. So now our arms will be staying up towards the ceiling, but we are alternating our single leg hip float again. So we're coming down to 1 point of contact for our base of support, which makes it a little bit more challenging. Good, level 3. Oops. Let's go for 2 more on each side. You might be at level 3, you might have stayed at level 2 or level 1. Good, 1 more. All right, lovely. Take the hands back to the side. Level 4, lift one leg up and then float the second leg up. Just finding your stability for a second before you take the legs one at a time back down to the mat. And again, single hip float, double hip float. And then lower, back down. Keep alternating the leg that you start with so that you're not always using the same motor pattern and the same muscle groups to initiate the movement. Keep challenging that brain to switch from side to side. Good. Nice, 2 more on each leg. Another 4 in total. Rest at any stage if you need to. All this abdominal work is so much fun on the foam roller. Just another level, being on a movable surface. Okay, stay with that if you want to. Otherwise, moving on to level 5, both legs are up, and we'll move into our toe tap. So we're reaching the toe down towards the ground, and because we are up higher on a foam roller, we have a little bit more range of motion to work through our hip joint than if we were just doing this on the floor. Forget you have a knee joint and make this action really occur from the hip joint like you are hinging to lower that leg, and the knee still stays at its right angle. Good, let's go for 2 more each side, 4 in total. Hopefully your abdominals are starting to feel like they've been working a little bit. Good, keep staying with that or any other level that you want to. Let's move on to level 6, single leg extension. Now, if you want to work on single leg extension, but having both legs up in the air is a little bit too much of a challenge at this stage, you can work single leg extension with 1 foot on the floor. So you're still getting used to that direction of movement. So that is another option. I'm going to stay up here for 5 more on each leg. Good, 4 more on each leg. 3, just check that you haven't got a death grip on the floor here. Keep those fingertips lightly on the floor. All right, I think I've got 1 more, or else I'm doing a bonus one. Good. Okay, we've got 1 more exercise here. So feel free to choose any of the range that we have just done. That's okay. Otherwise, if you want a new one, let's go for a cycle. So it sort of combines our toe taps and our single leg reach in one big motion. And I'll get you to ride forwards for 10. And then you'll reverse your cycle and ride backwards, back pedal, which is a little bit strange, but it works. All right, I'm back pedaling. So reversing the scoop action of the legs. Whew, really feeling it now. Good, 4 more of whatever rep you are doing or whatever variation. And last one. And lower it down. Very good. You can just go for a little scoop in that pelvis. Just release off the low back and the hip joints if you need to by rocking forwards and backwards on your low tailbone or on your sacrum. Just for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Coming off your foam for me. Take your foam roller down towards your feet. This is where you'll grab your towel and pop it underneath your neck for a little bit of support. And you can always use this towel here to support your head and neck in a hammock, because we're going to do just a little bit more abdominals to finish it off. I'm going to place my hands behind the back of my head, but you can use your towel and hold on to your towel if that is more comfortable. Your feet are up on the foam roller here and the knees are bent. So I'll get you to curl your head and shoulders up to look towards your knees and hold that position up, and then roll the foam roller away so your legs lengthen out. Then draw the foam roller and the knees back in and lay back down. We are going to add this up like a pyramid. So curling up again, roll those legs away once, roll it back in, and go for another roll. Legs away and back in, and then laying back down. Good, we've got 5 more to add. So curling up, rolling in and out 3 times this time. So we're working our way up to 8. And low back down. And again, in your own time, so this should be about 4 rolls in and out. You'll feel your lower tummy in this exercise a little bit more as we lengthen the legs away from our core. Good. I'm up to 5. Keep breathing. And 1. Roll it back in. Okay, how are we going? Roll out and in. I think we're up to 6 or 7, depending on how speedy you are. Feeling like your ribs are sliding and connecting down to your hips. Your lower belly is pulling in nice and tight, even though the legs are rolling away. All right, last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, very good. Rolling down. Nice. If you need to, just windscreen wiper your legs a little bit side to side. Just stretch out those lower fibers of the abdominals. All right. We've got to do a little bit of oblique abdominal work. So when you're ready, I'll get you to have your feet back on the foam roller. So the setup is the same, except now we have a single leg up in tabletop. Okay. You're going to curl up, roll the single leg away, and then bring it back in. Just get used to rolling a single leg away for 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we are going to add our oblique. So as your leg rolls away, reach and rotate your opposite elbow to your knee that's up in the air. And rotate and come back to center. Rotate and roll that foam roller away, then draw it back in. Good, going for 5 more. 5, 4. Think of lifting your ribs up and over to the hip bone of the knee that's up. 2, and 1. Very good. Let's swap the legs. So the other leg is up in tabletop. Just set yourself up so you feel comfortable with your single leg roll first. And once you feel happy for that, go for your 10 obliques. So as the leg rolls away, you crunch up and over. Leg rolls away, crunch up and over for 10. I've got 5 to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Rest it down. Just windscreen wipe your legs a little bit. And we're still going to keep our foam roller underneath our feet and go into our glutes a little bit more. So we've done a lot of anterior core work through our abdominals. Let's switch it to the back side of our body. Okay, so when you're ready, bring that roller quite close to your bottom. Your feet are on. And we are going to peel our spine up from the tailbone, bone by bone, up into your bridge position. And then roll it down again, finding each little vertebra as you roll it back down onto the mat. And bridges on the foam roller with the feet up on the foam roller like this are really nice. It gives us a little bit more range of motion again through the hips because we're just that little bit higher. It does bring in the hamstrings a little bit more to maintain our position. Let's go for 5 more hip rolls. Squeezing the glutes underneath. If you feel like your low back is taking over a little bit, just bring your attention back to your glutes and really give them a good squeeze. Good. 3 or 4 more hip rolls up and down and again rolling up. It's nice to stretch and open up the front of those hip joints after all that core work and our cycling legs and our toe taps. You can feel a little tightness in the hip flexors because they were working during those abdominal exercises. Okay, everybody hold it at the top for me. If you need to roll your foam roller in a little bit closer so you feel more glutes rather than hamstrings, just do that now. And then I'll get you to just shift your weight onto the right leg a little bit more in preparation for taking one leg off and moving into a single leg bridge. And then place it back down. Shift your weight ever so slightly onto the left leg in order to release the right hip off the roller. And I'll just get you to keep alternating from side to side in your single glute marching exercise. Feel free to come down at any stage and rest. Windscreen wipe your knees if you need to release any tension. Ideally, you want the pelvis to stay nice and level here, and so that when you shift and transfer the weight, there's not a big dip in the pelvis like that. Think of your hip bones pointing up to the ceiling and staying pointing up to the ceiling. And there's no side to side rocking like a seesaw. All right, 1 or 2 more on each leg, and then I'll get you to meet me at the top holding one leg in the air. Okay, so we've got our single leg in the air. And then keeping that leg up, I want you to lower your bottom back to the floor, and then you'll press it back up. So moving in and out of those single hip bridges in a different plane of motion. Going for 8 of these. So you've probably got 4 more on this leg. 4, 3, 2, and if you really don't like single leg bridges for whatever reason, that's okay. Go back to your double leg bridge. All right, swapping legs. Double leg bridge, come back up, then take the opposite leg up into the air and move into your 8 single leg bridges, lowering that pelvis up and down to the mat. Three, 2, I've got 1 left, 1, very good, and just release it down. Stretch those legs, roll them right away. Just roll and circle the ankles on the foam roller, and you can stretch your arms overhead. Just give yourself a lovely long stretch from toe to fingers. Now we're going to continue with our upper back work and the back part of our body. So I'll get you to roll onto your tummy. Keep your foam roller in front of you, where your hands are. I will demonstrate the first few, just because when I go down onto my tummy, it's hard for you to hear me, and I tend to squash the microphone. So if you'd all like to take a look at the camera, I'll demonstrate first, okay? And then I'll talk you through it. Okay, so just coming down with your forearms resting on the foam roller, and you're looking down at the mat. Then you slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your hip bones, and as you do that, you're rolling the foam roller back towards your body and lifting the head and shoulders off into a little extension. And then roll yourself completely down again. Again, slide the shoulder blades down your back, extending the head and the shoulders off the mat as the foam roller comes towards you, and then roll it back down. Everybody, let's go for 5 more, and I'll do it with you too if you need that visual again. And listen to your range of motion. Only come up as high as you like. If you like to come up nice and high, your spine likes extension, that's absolutely fine too. So really listen to what your body wants to do today. But working our back strength. Just watch that we're not overextending the neck, okay? We don't want too many creases at the back of our neck. Good, 1 or 2 more. And then hold it up just a little way off the ground for me. And then I'll get you to move one hand towards the center of the roller a bit and take the other arm out to the side. And you're going to go into your single arm rolls for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the arm that's out to the side, I'll get you to squeeze that glute on that side and lift the leg as well. So you've got 1 arm and 1 leg lifted as you roll. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Just bring your other hand into the middle of the foam roller. Take your opposite arm out to the side and going for your single arm row on the other side. So working our upper back muscles slightly different. The back of our shoulder blades on the arm that is extended out to the side is working on endurance. Good, 1 or 2 more. And then find that glute squeeze on the side that the arm is out. Lift the leg up and continue your roll. For 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Okay, everybody just pulling back up in either the cat and cow position. You can do that one, or if your knees are quite happy to go into child's pose, you can separate the knees nice and wide and reach your arms forward. It just depends on your knee range of motion. So just take one of those exercises and release out the low back. And then when you're ready, slowly coming out of that, and I'll get you just to finish the class by laying on your foam again with your arms outstretched so that you can really relax. So from head to tail, turn the palms up, have your feet quite wide apart so you feel nice and secure. And when you're here, I'll get you to find a different stretch through your arms. It might be that you take your arms a little bit higher this time, or you might like to bring them down low again, but bend the elbows in so you have little chicken wing arms. And just pick a position for me. And once you settle in there, close your eyes. And just start to regulate your breath again. Slowing it down. Close those eyes, let them relax back into the socket, the empty space behind the socket. And I'll get you just to count the rise and fall of your breath for me for 10. And we're going to count backwards. So inhale, 10. Exhale, 9. Inhale, 8. Exhale, 7. Inhale, 6. Exhale, 5. Inhale, 4. Exhale, 3. Inhale, 2. Exhale, 1. And just relax. Now you can stay here on this foam roller for as long as you like and just enjoy an opened, mobile spine and shoulder joints. Congratulations for moving your body through the class. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you feel a lot better for moving. I'm just going to come up into sitting, but you can certainly stay on your back for as long as you like. It feels so good to finally settle on that foam roller, and I hope you feel really nice and mobile and energized after your foam roller class. Thank you so much.